All right, everybody. It's another Thursday night. It is Thursday Night Barbecue Chat. I am Steve Chris. I am the Grill Department Manager over at Wanamaker's, the epicenter of grilling and smoking in the western suburbs of Chicago, located in beautiful, lovely Downers Grove, Illinois. The man sitting next to me, as always, the chairman of the board, Barbecue Black Zone and Beer, Mr. Ryan Hoagland. Ryan,
hey everybody, how we doing? Welcome back in for another episode of Thursday Night Barbecue Chat. Welcome back, Steve. Well, not welcome back. I guess you were still here last week, but welcome back to Illinois.
Yeah, welcome back to the big city. Yeah, I came back from Tallahassee, got home on Sunday, drove all day. I left at about 5:30 in the morning, got home around 9 o'clock, went through all the usual stuff that you go through when you get done deploying, and of the separation anxiety and the being away from the group and all that other stuff. So we handled that pretty well. And yeah, that's it. We're back. But the mission, I did have a good time. I always have a good time with all the volunteers. Our volunteers are, like, as I've always said, are always just like, the regular barbecue family, the OBR family. You always look forward to seeing everybody. So yeah, no, I had a great time. And, but the mission continues, Ryan. The mission continues. OBR is rocking it in a bunch of different sites. I believe Tallahassee is no longer there. They are in process of moving to the Tampa area for what just happened yesterday with Hurricane Milton. So they're going to try and get in there and get set up. They are also in Eastern Tennessee still, and they are also in North Carolina. And we do have my good friend who I got to actually meet in person down in Tallahassee, Mr. Skeeter Stone, is with us to bring us up to date on what's going on there in North Carolina, because most people don't. Hey, there's Mike Lip. Mike.
What's up, my boy?
There it is, Chicago's representative. Oh, look at, hey, we got balloons. Wow. Oh, that's it. Skeeter's phone may have died just like that. That's all we have. Maybe we don't have Skeeter Stone. He has very low.
That was interesting.
He sent up balloons, and then that was
we
it.
had fireworks, now we had balloons, and he grabbed one and left the screen there. I don't know.
Yeah.
What just
well,
happened.
he said his phone was. Oops. Oh boy. Oh boy, I got sound going on.
That's the feedback. Yeah, I was like, could I hear him or something?
Yeah,
well,
Emlyn,
I'll take him back out of the stage until we see him come back up here. But
yeah, we'll see if he can get rebooted in. Maybe you can get Mike's phone or something like that. Yeah, they got Emlyn's on Instagram. He was the site lead down there in Tallahassee. He did say Tallahassee is now closed. And then there's Carmen. She is part of my barbecue family, probably her OBR family.
Poor Carmen.
Yep, she rocked it down there, man. I had a great team as we got into things started flowing, things started coming together. Had a great team doing the Pork Palace. We rocked it. We started pushing out meals like crazy, and you could almost say with ease. That's how well it all flowed. She was doing the choppers and all that other stuff, but had a great team. I think Skeeter's trying to get back on, but so anyway, so they are in North Carolina. Hopefully we can get Skeeter on here, talk about that. The big thing it looks like we're looking for right now, OBR, they're looking for volunteers. So if this is on the OBR page, I did share it to the OBR volunteer page. We do need volunteers. Obviously the volunteers that have already been there are getting tired out. Oh, Skeeter's back. So we do want to put out the mission for volunteers. So if you're in the volunteer page and you haven't volunteered yet, please sign up to volunteer for one of the sites, because obviously the people that have been there for a while are probably getting a little tired and worn out. I know Mike just got down there not too long ago, so it's great to see that he's down there. So, well, yeah, Skeeter's going to have a hard time because I think he said his phone was dying.
I think we can hear him. Skeeter, can you hear us?
It's rough there in North Carolina. Everything got destroyed.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there it is.
He was out of the group altogether there, but
yeah. So Carmen's going to be what's up?
Middles, what's going on? We'll be back to Tampa sometime next week. All right. Well,
yeah. So a lot of people left Tallahassee. They went home to Florida, and then they're going to come back and volunteer. And there he is. We're going to get him. Let's hurry up and do it quick before Skeeter. What's it like there on the ground, buddy?
Wow, it's amazing here, seeing the help from the community. We've done 80,000 meals here out of this one location so far since they were devastated by the mainly flooding here. 80,000 meals. We've got some volunteers from all over. We got some from Chicago right here, as you know. So we got Chicago Mike right here. So
Big Mike,
we're plugging away. We're really building some infrastructure to even ramp up even further here. As I'm sure as you and your listeners and as seen, they're still delivering meals on pack mules, on side by sides. These people really need some help here, and we're happy to be here.
So you guys, now we had a lot of the firepower down there in Tallahassee. We had Boss Hog, we had the triples. What do you guys got there? I know I've seen Hogzilla there. That's the one that holds like 200 pork butts. So that's great to have. But what else you guys running on?
So we've got 4 ELDXs here as well. We've got a CTO here. We've got some other volunteers that even brought their own pits in just to keep us going and as we ramp up.
Yeah, that's one of those is probably my good friend, Mr. Paul Carnell.
He is here. He is here.
He has that awesome trailer that he carries and is always, he's been there since the beginning, and God bless all you guys for doing that. Mike, God bless you for driving all the way down from Chicago. God bless you.
Come on, bro. You did it last week. Pat yourself on the back too.
That's right. We appreciate you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Mike was originally slated to go to Tallahassee, and then of course with the other hurricane coming in, then they changed his walking orders, and he ended up to North Carolina. And I think to be honest, I think they needed more help in North Carolina, because I think that place was a little bit better, a little bit worse off than where we were in Tallahassee. So I'm glad Big Mike's there, because he's big shoulders to walk on. So that's perfect.
Well, the scary part is not only, I mean, this is the second hurricane. I was watching stuff today, and they're talking about a third that's coming right behind.
Yeah, it looks like 2 weeks out, another one. Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, that's 3 of them back to back like that is a lot. I mean, one's bad enough, let alone 3. I mean, I don't know how much more it can handle.
That's right. Devastation is real, but we can certainly try to provide comfort with that one hot meal that matters. And we hope that everyone will go to obr.org to learn more about the mission and all of the locations that we're helping out in.
Yeah, we've got it here on the site, and also if you guys can't volunteer and stuff, we do. OBR is always looking for donations. You know, if it's $1, $2, $10, $100, whatever you can do always helps out. The link is down at the bottom there as well. So anything you guys can do to help would be greatly appreciated.
How you guys doing for volunteers there, Skeeter? You guys, are they picking up, or you guys still need some?
I got to tell you, we're doing well. We could always use volunteers, but one thing I am so excited and it's inspirational for me to see is the local volunteers that we're getting here out of this community. We've got people that are still devastated themselves that are helping out here, even when they. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Hope we could help. And just a local person here that we were able to feed and help them out in some other ways. So. We've got a lot of volunteers, but we could always use more. As this thing, I expect to continue for 3 more weeks. So we would love to see some new volunteers join us out here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That the guys that are there from the beginning have to be getting a little tired. So if you're in the volunteer group and you see this and you can volunteer, hey, a day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever, it doesn't matter. Any days are good days. When you're working the line and getting the meals out, because it's especially now with Tampa kicking on, I think that's going to be a heavy one. So OBR is going to need the volunteers. So if you have the time, please take some time to volunteer. I unfortunately am out of the game. I have no more vacation. I didn't have vacation time the last time I went, so I don't have any more vacation now, obviously. So I am out. This is the best I can do, is try and get the word out to everybody at this point to try and get down there and help out. How many meals are you doing per day down there in North Carolina?
Doing around 10,000 roughly, and we expect that to ramp up to 20,000 here in the next 2 days. Put out about 90,000 meals so far here at this site.
What about Eastern Tennessee? Do you got any info on Eastern Tennessee at all? Or
I know they were pushing out around 5,000 meals a day, but I'm not sure of their totals. We've been pretty encompassed here. So.
Yeah, I can believe it. All right, well, I'll let you get back to doing your work. Thanks for signing in, and don't let Big Mike drink everything, as far as Gatorade and stuff like that.
That's right. We're going to do our best. He is a big help. I don't want him to hear that, but he's been helping us organize the site and get it straightened out. So we appreciate all of them. So
yeah, I worked with him in Port Charlotte. He's got a motor that doesn't stop. So just keep riding it. So
that's right.
All right, Skeeter. Good luck. Be safe, and hopefully no more rain comes up your way with all these storms that are coming through.
Thanks for having us, guys. Have a great night.
All right, take care.
So Operation Barbecue Relief down there. This is the first time I can honestly say, and I think I said on last week's show, I don't remember so many sites active at one point in time. When we had Tallahassee, we had Tampa, we had Eastern Tennessee, and we had North Carolina. So this is a strange October. I don't remember so many storms in multiple storms in October. I know we've always had like one or two big ones, maybe even one, but I don't remember so many active things, especially Helene, the way it came up and drenched that area with water. Hopefully a lot of these storms that are coming will actually turn out into the Atlantic and not head up into the back up into that southeastern United States up there, because they're already drenched. So as I think Ryan put all the links in there. If you can donate, great. If you can volunteer, please volunteer. They are in need of volunteers. If you're in the Tampa area and you can hear to see this, be ready, watch for the posts, and get on there and join the line and let's make some meals, because I think the Tampa one's going to have those are going to be some big numbers. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's crazy to just sit here. I mean, there's, like I said, I'd always, once I'm available, I definitely want to get out on a deployment and check it out and help out wherever I can. But I mean, it's just crazy to sit here and see everything that's going on. Just like Carmen said, she'll be back to Tampa sometime next week. And then she said, yes, the tornadoes were crazy last night. I think it was like 30 plus tornadoes or something.
Yeah, that was a crazy storm. It's definitely a crazy year. And like you said, there's one coming. I thought I actually saw one. It could possibly even be two. I thought I saw one in the Atlantic that's about 40% chance of developing into a storm. And then I think there's another one that's developing in the Gulf. So it could be an interesting next couple of weeks. So everybody, if you're on deployment, stay safe, stay hydrated, and from a volunteer to volunteer, love you. So
love you,
and Ryan loves you too.
Yeah,
he loves everybody. So.
I try.
But tonight, Ryan, we have a guest. We're going to switch over to our guest tonight. Obviously, a good friend to both of us. He is local right here to the Chicago area. He is with Risky Brisket competition team, but he also runs a charity, Mission 000. And he does classes both at Wanamaker's and Tischler's down there in Plainfield. And then Ryan helps out.
Oh, those are the ones I help out with too. I forgot about those.
What? You're not the main show, Ryan.
But am I?
No, you're kind of like a second guest. You're kind of like a guest.
It's kind of like I'm here. I'm just here, right? It's Steve's show. I'm just here. But anyways, let's get back.
I don't know. I was down in Tallahassee, and the only that Larry said that he really liked Ryan. He didn't say anything about me. I really like Ryan.
They know.
God bless you guys.
We just let you join us every week.
So let's bring him in here and bring you guys in. There he is, Mr. Sean Young.
Ryan has a deployment jersey from volunteering, Steve. So, just saying.
Yeah, I know. I got to get.
Not only that, and I was going to save this, but since you brought it up, I come down to the basement. It's I got a little ledge on the sidewall and the stairs when I come down, and this is sitting down there, and I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it. I am so proud to walk past this thing right here. That
was a cool year.
Yes, 2021 Honor Guard recipient. I mean, I love this thing. It's nice to just walk. I was going to save it till later in the show, but since we were bashing on Steve, it was like perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, this year we are not doing saluting with smoke. Myriad of events, too many to list here, compounding factors that just made that unavailable for us to do, not only financially, but resource and infrastructure wise, and some other issues that happened out of our control. But so unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do there won't be an honor guard. There won't be a volunteer of the year this year, in the middle of rebuilding a lot of things. But we do have an opportunity to go down to World Foods, which is pretty cool. So that we're excited for.
Yeah, let's get into that. How'd you do on the competitions? I know you guys, you and Dave have been out there. You have not as much, but
yeah. Dave and I have been out a handful of times this year. Again, we ran real hard for a while. We were between 25 to 30 competitions a year, plus doing 13 to 15 classes a year. you throw a couple of test cooks in there, you add up the weekends, and you're at 40, 45 weekends, a year out of 52, and you start doing some math on that and go, oh my God, we need to take a little time off here and do some things like around the house that haven't been done in many years that have to get fixed. So Dave and I, we went down to Louisville. World Foods we've never cooked. Dave and I have never cooked World Foods before. But Mission 0 Hours last year, we had a Battle of the Branches at Saluting with Smoke in Yorkville, and the Mike McLeod, the team over at World Foods, heard about it and immediately hopped on and offered up some golden tickets for the opportunity for folks that were cooking. And the Air Force team won the golden ticket to go down to cook World Foods in Dallas last year. And unfortunately, Brad Leininger wasn't able to go, prior commitments. So, Lee Hickel, who was the Coast Guard veteran, Lee was also the team captain for the Coast Guard team, stood up and, stepped up and was able to take the Air Force folks down, that team, and lead them in live fire in Dallas in November of last year. Thankfully, I was able to go because it was a heck of an experience. If you've never been to a World Foods event, it's another level. Mike and his team put on a production that honestly I've never seen in food sport before. In the stuff that I compete, KCBS and SCA, I've never seen a production at this level, and it was so cool. And then they went on and win it, right?
You mean this one right here?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I thought that was cool.
It was pretty awesome. Chef Hiram is a heck of a leader, and those guys had never cooked before ever, period. And the first time they cooked together was a test cook in the parking lot at World Foods next to Lee's trailer Friday before they started competing. That's the first time those guys ever competed or cooked together, period. And, we did a lot of test cooking, and I was fortunate enough that I was able to cook the steaks for qualifying day. So I'm just happy I didn't screw it up. Hiram gave me the nod to cook some steaks, and got them into finals, and they went on to win the dang thing and went down to the final table in Bentonville, Arkansas in, I think it was March, April, May, somewhere around there. And I think they finished seventh. Out of, I believe, 11. So solid showing for, a handful of dudes that have never cooked together before.
Was that the surf and turf?
So Dallas, it was surf and turf. The infused ingredient they had to use, I believe it was Pacific white shrimp, had to be in the dish. And that was Hiram's dish. He did a Gouda grits and Wagyu steak and some grilled vegetables, and then they butterflied, and he did these scorpion shrimp. Those were so cool, fried shrimp. So they absolutely killed it.
You got one more of the whole team here.
Yeah, that's a good one. So it was a lot of fun. So
take us back. So take us back. I mean, so they won the world. This is probably, probably one of the neater ideas that I think you've ever had. Explain the whole Battle of the Branches event, because there's a lot of different interesting rules to it, and I thought I did go there and watch it last year, and I thought it was a pretty cool event.
Right. So we started our roots are in barbecue, right? My roots are in barbecue from 15 years, and our mission is to around 22 veterans a day succumb to suicide. Right. I'm an Army vet. I've struggled with my past and my military related trauma, and I found competition barbecue in 2008, and I just jumped into it. And it was mission, it was purpose, it was not having idle hands, and just completely immersed myself in, at the time, competition barbecue, and went on to cook 100 and something contests so far in my career. And in 2018 and 18, I had a buddy of mine that was also Army vet, infantryman, and said, you should take your experience, and there's other vets out there that might benefit from this, because I use it as my therapy, right? It's culinary arts therapy, it's barbecue therapy. So we spun up a charity, a nonprofit. We're a 100% volunteer organization. We don't have payroll. We don't have grants. We don't. It's all volunteer work. It's about, 1,000 hours a year I put into the organization as volunteer time, right? And we have lots of volunteers that contribute a tremendous amount of time to this organization to do these kinds of things. So we started doing barbecue competitions and embedding veterans with barbecue teams to give them an experience. So we've deployed to Michigan and other places, and we put them with pro teams or backyard teams and let them get a barbecue experience. So after we did that, I was like, that's great, and it's a great experience, but we saw the success that it was having and the impact that it had on people's lives. And there were veterans that were like, look, I've been cooking out of a microwave, and I went and cooked with this barbecue team, and now I'm, cooking tacos for my kids once a week at home, and I would never do that before, and it's re-engaged me with my family. And now, the top 3 contributors to veteran suicide are financial distress, disengagement from your family, and not being connected, and then financial distress, disconnection from your family. The other one escapes me. But if we can solve for those things, right, and we can reduce the financial burden by providing them culinary life skills, and then we can get them re-engaged and reconnected with the community and family, that can help. And seeing the success we had with these folks cooking with barbecue teams and learning culinary skills, we had an idea like, well, what if we take that to another level? And these veterans we're used to high stress environments. We thrive in high stress environments. We're trained for it, right? Low stress environments are boring, right? That's when the brain starts going, put me in a high action, high stress environment and I will thrive. And we said, well, let's put them in that environment. And then let's give them coaches, and let's put the branches head to head and let them compete as a team so they find structure, unit, camaraderie. Again, give them a very clear mission and purpose, and let them battle it out, the battle of the branches, and see which branch is superior, right? Which is the best branch that day. And what we found was the veterans absolutely love the structure. They thrive in that environment, and it gives them a connection. I think almost every team that competed at the Battle of the Branches had a text message group chat going with everybody, and they still connect and talk like today. And that's super cool because that provides that community support environment of like-minded individuals that are into food sport, right? Whatever it is, whether we're cooking tacos or we're cooking, on a smoker, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we can provide that life-changing experience that gives them that reconnection to their family and some purpose. So we did it, and it was pretty awesome.
The branches are naturally competitive anyway. You guys are already, so this kind of gives you an arena where they can exercise that competitive spirit between each other.
Yeah, and so then we started talking to, you guys know the big struggles you have with running events is infrastructure. Infrastructure is super expensive. Saluting with Smoke 2 years ago, we lost $60,000 of infrastructure when Hurricane came through and wiped out all sorts of stuff, right? Yeah. And so for a small charity to lose $60,000 in infrastructure, that's rough. So we said we have to find a way to run this program where it doesn't require us to have the big cost outlays and be responsible for all this infrastructure, because that's a non-starter as a small charity. So in conversations with Mike McLeod and his team over at World Foods, who have been outstandingly supportive, not only of veterans, but of our mission and food sport with veterans. So they said, why don't we do one, we'll be in Indianapolis. Let's do one in Indy. It's not super far. So we spun up a deployment to go down there. And this year we have, I think, 39 veterans and service members deploying down to Indianapolis on Veterans Day weekend as a part of World Foods. We have our Battle of the Branches teams. We also have the MZHH Live Fire team led by Lee Hickle, which has Lee and a veteran deployed on it through our program. And thankfully, because I won my golden ticket, we have the MZHH Barbecue team. So I'm rebranding for World Foods as the MZHH Barbecue team, and we're taking on another veteran through our program to go experience World Foods from the barbecue. So we have 3 different programs running down in Indy. But the Battle of the Branches on Sunday, they meet, a lot of them for the first time. We have a mission briefing. They get to look through the pantry at World Foods. They have a $50,000 stock pantry that has you name it, right? All the ingredients are there, and they have their kitchen arena set up, and we have stages inside the kitchen arena, and we have each branch has 2 teams, an Alpha team and a Bravo team. They come up with a recipe plan Sunday night, and then they go shopping. We give them a gift card, and they get to go shopping. They have a $50 budget for their entire recipe plus what's in the pantry, and they come back Monday morning, and we kick off, and each branch goes head to head with their respective chalks, and the team with the highest score advances to the finals later in the day, with the exception that their coaches are not allowed to touch anything. So it's kind of the pros leading the Joes. We have a lot of culinary talent, executive chefs, restaurateurs that have signed up to coach, that will lead them through the taco battle in the morning, the preliminaries, and whichever one has the highest score advances, and then they get into the finals. They have about 50 minutes Monday afternoon to come up with their recipe for the finals, which is the MRE challenge, and they draw 2 MREs, and they have to come up with in 50 minutes come up with an idea, submit a recipe card. Then they have 50 minutes of active cooking to go build a MRE dish, basically to turn military food into something edible. And they present that live to 5 World Foods judges on the main stage Monday night for all guts, all glory, and see, which branch will prevail on Veterans Day. So, and it's going to be pretty awesome. World Foods kicked in a $5,000 prize purse for first and second place. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of really amazing moments for veterans to reconnect with camaraderie, mission, purpose, community, like-minded individuals, and have some really good competitive fun as they learn some life skills, and hopefully not have a bad day that day.
Are you taking the penalty box?
I was just going to ask that question. It's the penalty box coming down.
Yeah, so this might be breaking news. Do you have a breaking news button? Can you? What's
that? Hang on, coming in. All right, go ahead, Sean.
So they don't know this yet. This goes out in their op order next week, but tune into the show and you'll find out. So all the teams are fundraising right now. If you want to donate to a branch, you go to militaryfoodsport.com. and you'll see the race roster. It's what we use, but you can donate. It's a charity, so it's a tax-deductible donation. I have to put the asterisk on there for my lawyer. Please ask your CPA. But the branch that raises the most money in the prelims, whichever chalk raises the most money, will get a competitive advantage. And that competitive advantage is their coaches are allowed to go hands-on for 5 minutes anytime they want during the cook, because other than that, the coaches are hands off. And if they touch anything, they go into a penalty box for 5 minutes where they can't talk or coach their team. So team with the highest fundraising in the prelims gets 5 minutes of active cooking with their coach whenever they want. And then the team with the branch with the highest fundraising going into the finals gets to select their MREs first. So
all the perks of fundraising.
I'm just glad the penalty box is there.
Penalty box is there. Yeah, ask Smitty and who else got tagged?
Smitty spent a lot of time in there.
Once he was in there once. Yeah, Smitty was in there once. Yeah, he. I saw him touch. I think he was saucing ribs, and I was standing right behind, right in front of him. I was across the table from him, and he literally looked at me, grabbed like the cup or whatever he was doing, and then looked up at me, and I'm like, Smitty, and he's like, gosh, and he's like, I looked you in the eyes. I knew I shouldn't do it. Instinctually, I was like, I'm just going to fix this right now for you guys. He's like spaced out. So yeah, he was walking around with his hands in his pockets for the rest of the day.
He took a penalty. He took a penalty for the team. I mean, he
did. I know Webb got clipped. And then Leininger got hit, but he claims he was just showing a judge how to run a smoker or something. But at the end of the day, touching is touching, right? So.
We still talking about barbecue?
No means no, Ryan. No means no.
No means no, Ryan.
No means no.
For those of us Smitty is our good friend Sterling Smith from Loot and Booty Barbecue. Yeah, he was maybe he was putting Pirate Pleasure on his feet. I don't know why he was in the penalty
maybe
Fat Boy Dreams.
Fat Boy Dreams.
Fat Boy Dreams.
And then what? Linegar is with a he runs with Blues Hog. Is that
getting basted?
Getting basted. Actually, I don't know if anybody saw on Facebook, but Blues Hog just had a fire at one of their factories or warehouses or something like that.
Oh no!
Down in South Haven, I think it was.
I did not hear that. I certainly hope the charcoal that I need in a month isn't there.
Well, I have some in the store. Just tell me, let me know, and I'll hold some aside for you.
Yeah, good. I got nervous for a second.
Yeah, Roy says he comes in and says hi guys, and he also said, Sean, you're amazing. You're awesome for all you're doing.
Thanks, Roy. Thank you for volunteering. Did you guys know the last time Roy volunteered, he broke 3 ribs?
What?
Yeah. Roy came out to volunteer at our golf outing, and we had a fundraiser, and he just tripped a little bit and just kind of fell on the stairs a little bit. Not like a fall. It was just kind of like a stumble and fall, and we didn't even know until at the end of the day. He's like, "Oh, I'm dying here," And it's like the end of the day, and I'm like, "Why didn't you tell us sooner?" And then we found out like a day later or whatever, he went to the hospital. I think he cracked or fractured or broke like 3 ribs or something. He can fact check me, but he got hurt.
He got hurt.
He
said, getting based in Missouri was great. And then she also had a good thing a little earlier. She commented, we kind of missed it, but she said, when you're talking about everything, she said, sounds like it would be great to combine an event with at Camp OBR.
Love to talk to the folks at Camp OBR.
Oh, and we're going to go back and fact check and everything. And it was not 3, it was 4.
4. I undersold it. Ugh.
So, this is like CNN checking in. We're fact checking live on the spot.
Yeah, Roy. Boy, we might have to come up with I don't think I can give a purple heart, but I might come up with like a purple rib challenge coin or something for Roy.
A purple rib. the Roy Rib Award.
the Roy Rib Award.
Yeah, that somebody gets that award like this. Is that the DAL award? Is now the Roy Rib Award?
So funny story. One of our veterans, Ken. You guys know Ken, Captain Ken Jacobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Captain Ken, when we met him, he was in a pretty tough spot. And I think he has literally been to every deployment we have ever done. I think he's going on 12, something like that. And he's going to Indy. He's cooking on Team Army. He, after going through our program, finally got himself motivated, and he went to barber school, and he got his barber license. And he's now cutting hair. But when he was learning to cut hair, I guess he was like nicking people's ears a lot. So he went and got like stickers, like little Purple Heart stickers or something. And then he's a Purple Heart veteran. And when he nicked someone's ear, he'd give him little Purple Heart stickers, like, "You've been wounded in my chair." So.
Captain Ken. I love when he rolls up in his car and he pulls a big drum out the back seat
to cook his steaks on.
And then he actually just reached out to me recently. He's I was just looking it up. Because he did say, he said, I moved a 00 in the back of my Honda CRV, so it felt like a glove. But he's doing something with some fraternity or something. So he was talking about getting a Blackstone. He's going down there and cooking for 60 people or something. But he said he wanted to get a 22-inch Blackstone and cook for 60 people. And I was like, it's going to be a long day for that. But
yeah.
So Sean, then you get a whole different. When we volunteer with Barbecue Relief, and you hand out the meals, or you go out and you do the meals, you get that gratification of people getting the food and seeing that face and the joy and all that other stuff. You got a whole different because you got a few good stories of, with Ken finishing his barber license, you're getting like a life. You get life-changing transformations because you get people that have been near the end or lost, and by doing what you've started has kind of you get stories of people actually their lives changing.
We have more of those than I can count, and we're a small charity. it's pretty awesome when you see someone's life turn around, and it's not immediate. We have a lot of veterans that have been engaged with us since 2019, and you see their trajectory. But I don't share those private stories that I hear that people. I mean, I have guys. I got a rack of challenge coins on my wall that veterans have given me that are combat deployment coins or unit coins or overseas deployment coins or Purple Hearts that I didn't earn one, but I have two here that people have given me that said, you guys have saved my life. And when you get a Purple Heart from someone that says you saved my life for the second time, it's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah, I can. Like I said, I don't go out into the communities too much anymore to feed because I've seen it, and it does make a mark in your head. And so when I go and I make the meals, I know where the meals are going. I know what the transformation looks like and stuff like that. But yours is on a similar, but I almost want to say on a completely different level. But God bless you, because I think it's. And I say the same thing with the meals. We always say it's the one hot meal that matters with barbecue relief. And guys, it's the littlest thing that you can do for somebody that it can be amazingly life-changing. And just by you installing family and all that you do into that, I mean, it doesn't sound like much to us who do it like barbecue all the time, but for somebody who's lost and looking for that connection, it's like a whole new light going on. So,
and it doesn't take a whole lot, man. And at the end of the day, if it's, just getting out of your house, sometimes you're in a rut, you're in that black hole, and getting out's hard. And raising your hand and saying, I need help. Most veterans, we're not built that way. We're not wired that way, right? We're the ones that go provide the help. We're not the ones that need the help, right? We answer the call when, bad things happen or people need saving or someone needs dying. Like, we answer that call, right? We go do that. We don't raise our hand and ask for help. So to be able to provide that to individuals that may or may not need it. And, you never know if someone's at risk. You just don't. And it's not like they wear a hat that says, hi, I'm thinking about, maybe I don't want to wake up tomorrow. But small little impactful things, like maybe cooking some meat over a grill or a smoker or at a World Food Championship for that little bit of time can reconnect you with some purpose and some community and remind you there's something there tomorrow to wake up for, and go home and use those skills that we just taught you, right? You're cooking in a microwave 2 weeks ago. Well, now you know how to cook on a grill or in a saute pan on an induction, range. Those little tiny things that you learn through competition and competing, and the adrenaline gets going. Once that adrenaline starts firing again, your desire to stick around drastically increases. Adrenaline does amazing things to the body. So, yeah, that's awesome. Actually, Ryan, if you could put up our website's currently under construction.
Yes, it is.
MCHH.org. Yes, we're rebuilding it. So if you want to donate to the Battle of the Branches, you can donate at militaryfoodsport.com and pick a branch, any branch, whatever branch you want to support.
Oops, not that one.
That's all right. That's a good one too. I donate to OBR. Feel free to go, and every dollar counts. These deployments are expensive. They're tens of thousands of dollars for the travel and the deployment pay and all the stuff we have to buy to go do these things and move people around, and deployments aren't cheap. So every dollar counts, every dollar helps, and it literally goes to the organization, tax deductible. You can look us up on GuideStar. We have over a 90% pass-through rating, which means 90 cents of every dollar that's raised goes directly into our programs. That other 10% goes to the CPAs, the lawyers, and some utilities on a donated property. So not much overhead. 90% of it goes back in to the organization. So
is this the right one?
Yes, sir.
Yep,
militaryfoodsport.com. Perfect.
Yeah.
Go check it out. It's a great charity. I remember when you started it, and it's a great charity. Has a great foot. Since I don't mean to step on, but I forgot all about Mikey K's thing. But if you could put that thing back up there for the Fire and Smoke Barbecue before I end up forgetting again. That's the one with so Mikey K from Fire and Smoke Barbecue. He is For the month of October, 20% of online sales will be donated to Operation Barbecue Relief to families in need. So if you can, go to Fire and Smoke Barbecue and get yourself some stuff, and 20% goes to that. So it's a big charity night we got going on here. But
Yeah, seems like charity Thursday. Huh?
It's Charity Thursday. But yeah, so well, I just knew you were going. You guys, you said you qualified. I don't know, Brian, if you can find it. I know you're into doing videos and stuff, but I think I believe it was Harry Sue posted a video of you guys presenting your dish to the judges.
I've cooked in fields of 130, 140 barbecue competitors. I have never been more nervous in my life at a competition than cooking in a field of 5 for 5 judges. Man, there's parts of my presentation I don't remember. I blacked out little pieces of it. We don't do live presentation, it's not, that was my first time. So I got it now going back. We figured it out, but the first time was rough.
What's
that a video or a picture?
No, he had a video. I don't.
It was on Harry Sue's website. Yeah,
it might be in Harry Sue.
Unbeknownst to everybody, Harry filmed everybody turning in their stuff. So.
Yeah. So, and if not, you might be able to find it on Amanda's Facebook page, because I think she shared it. I know she shared it. So, but what would you say? What would you say? Because obviously, being new to World Foods, and we've had a bunch of people on here that are experienced World Food. What was your first differences between World Food and KCBS and
man,
the whole organization of it?
So it was awesome, hands down. Period. If you've never cooked a World Foods event, go do one. They're fun. The structure is different. Live plating. So for barbecue at the Famous Dave's qualifier, we had to turn in chicken ribs and a chef's choice. And the chicken and ribs were in turn-in containers, and the chef's choice was on the silver platter live. So you had 2 blind judging and then 1 live. And then we also had to cook 100 wings that we served to the public for people's choice. And you could get a golden ticket with a grand champion, a reserve grand champion, or the people's choice. We won the people's choice. That's where we got our golden ticket. But you have to submit recipe cards with your title and your description of your dish. And you can live or die by those. We had some issues with our card, and we got some great feedback from the judges on how to make adjustments moving forward, which was cool that the judges would come out and talk to you and be like, oh, you had this dish. If you would have done this or done that, we would have scored it this way. So we actually got some really awesome feedback. But the Famous Dave's, like the crew that was there, they rolled out the red carpet. It was awesome, man. They had stuff for kids and bounce houses, and they were giving away barbecue, and they had, I think, curveball, or if that's the wrong one, but they were giving away, samplings of whiskey. And I mean, they had a heck of an event going, lots of public engagement. We had a blast. And going into finals now in Indy with barbecue, barbecue is a gauntlet. Barbecue is hands down, and Mike McLeod will tell you this, the toughest category. I think there's 45 teams. We cook possibly for 3 days over 5. So day 1 is chicken ribs and brisket, all on silver platter, live turn, open garnish, blind judging. We have to turn in 3 silver platters with chicken ribs and brisket. Then we find out if we make it into the top 20. If we make it into the top 20, we move on to day 2, which is the wild card round, where we cook whatever we want for the wild card. And that goes on a silver platter, and that goes live judging, live presentation to 5 judges. Then those 20 become 7, and that makes your list. Then we get a day off on Monday, and if we make the top 7, we final on Tuesday, where we have to use Cornish hen is our infused ingredient, our featured ingredient. They give us the Cornish hen, and we have to turn in 2 silver platters with 10 samples for live judging in front of 5 World Foods master judges and present the whole thing. So it's 3 days of cooking over 5-6 days. It's a gauntlet. It is probably one of the toughest gauntlets in barbecue competition out there is World Foods. It's tough.
I'm gonna see if this works. I tried it last time. So if anybody out there, if you can't hear the sound, just let me know. I think
So we have a brisket that we cooked, and now it's time to trim it up for our guests, family, friends, VIP.
That's Lee.
And the peanut gallery is here, ready to go. Rock and roll. Rock and
That's
roll.
not it.
That's the first one. The end.
No, that's not it.
Different
He had
video.
one. He had one where Sean was actually presenting it to the table. So while Ryan's looking for that. Question for you, because two questions, I guess. Have you called Smitty for any tippers on how to? Because Smitty's not going to World Food. Did he give you any tips? Did you call Smitty to get any tips on how to?
Man, I don't know. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Hey, you know what? A good good soldier uses any resources he can. So
yeah, I mean, it's only won it twice. I don't know why. Why would I want to call him? He's only won
yeah, right.
Twice.
For any pointers, he's not there, so you might as well. He'd probably tell you even if he was there. And then second of all, since you're newer to World Foods, and I always ask this question, would you like to see something like the free-for-all round added to a KCBS competition where it would be more structured, where it's like, okay, everybody, we're doing chicken and you're free to season it, do whatever you want to it and turn it in, because obviously I use your line all the time when we're in the class, when we're doing this, is that, nobody eats the barbecue that they turn in at home. It's always better tasting. And I've always said, I want to eat the barbecue that the people cook at home, not the competition stuff. So would you like to see something like that added to a KCBS comp?
Yeah, so I think at any competition where cooks get the opportunity to stretch their culinary skills and their creativity and get creative, just the process of going through World Foods. We started this in February, and we were test cooking in March, for July, and we were because we're KCBS, we're 4 meats, that's what we send, and it's so different that Dave and I are like, we have to practice this because we have to decondition ourselves a little bit from KCBS and build the skills that are needed to go compete in World Foods and redevelop a palate, right? Like I know how I run a completely different rib profile. We're running a similar chicken profile, and we're running a similar brisket profile. Because at the end of the day, good barbecue is good barbecue. And I think good barbecue will score no matter what. But we don't have to worry about the over seasoning or offending someone. We can stretch a little bit and get a little more creative. And I think anytime cooks have an opportunity to do that, you become a better cook by doing it because you're learning more stuff. But I also think judges want to do it. But I don't know how it would work with the KCBS scoring system. But I mean, look at the dessert category, right? Look at how many 180s you get in dessert, right? Top 9 are usually 180s in dessert or whatever, because they get really unique stuff and judges are just 9s across the board. The eat methodology scoring through World Foods factors creativity and execution into their scoring, right? Eat is execution, appearance, and taste, and they're weighted in particular orders. But, and your execution is, how well did you execute on what was on that recipe card? So you're scored on how well you hit what you're saying. And if I send something that has a mango red onion salsa and they don't taste red onion, I get hit on my execution score because I didn't do what I said I was going to do. I missed my execution. So you get to call your shot, which is kind of fun, and you get to practice calling your shot, but you got to hit that shot once you call it. Where KCBS, I don't have to call anything. I can send the best stuff that I have, and if I want to change a flavor profile on the fly, I can do that. But in World Foods, I submit that stuff. I mean, our what's today? The 10th? Today the 10th?
Yeah.
Our recipe cards are due today for the opening round in November. So I called my shot yesterday when I submitted my recipe cards. I can't change anything. That's what we have to go do. But I had to think a month ahead. I had to think, what am I going to do, right? And put it on paper.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Ryan. There's your thing for
griddles
and vittles and their little cards that they want. Maybe you should do that in a griddle battle. Maybe
because
people should
we were
call
talking
their
about
shots.
we had a griddle battle episode where we were trying to think of ways to change it, ways to build it, and that was a lot of the feedback, or not a lot, but some of the feedback was turning in not necessarily like a full recipe of what you're doing, but a title of what you're doing.
Yeah, so we had to submit titles and brief descriptions, right?
So.
And you can But be careful what you say, because if it's not in there, it should be. And we effed up on ribs. I'm not going to say what, because we're not there and done yet, because I'm making an adjustment that hopefully works. But our dish title and our description cost us a rib win. We were told by somebody that was a judge that said, you had the best ribs of the day. If you would have just done this one little thing different in your title and your description, you would have won ribs today. And we finished last in ribs because we didn't quite understand the whole title and description thing and how that factored in World Foods. So lesson learned going into World Foods again in Indy, that mistake will not happen.
So it's like if you write you're doing a medium rare filet, bacon wrap filet mignon, and it comes out medium well, then you messed up. Yeah.
Right. It's more, and flavor profiles, right? Like if they don't taste something that's supposed to be in there, right? If you put a mango pineapple glazed chicken with barbecue mango pineapple glazed chicken, and they don't taste mango and pineapple in that dish, you'll get deducted.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Which it's like my head has been on fire the last 3 months, right? Just because I'm get in and start engineering this stuff, and it's just opening up my brain again to cooking. And honestly, my cooking at home has gotten better since, because I got to the point where I'm just running recipes that I run all the time for the family every night. I'm like, this is easy, let's put it out. Well, I've been getting creative again, and like my energy levels have gone back up because I'm creative. Like I feel like when I started in KCBS and it was just learning, and now we're at the point where just run the same stuff all the time, methodically, over and over. Just how well can we execute on the same thing? This is creative again.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to open up and do something different with that. I know the Great Griddle off for Blackstone just announced out, and they're doing that. So I'm off tomorrow, so I'm doing 4 different cooks that I've never done before. So
right, recipe creation, right?
It's kind of neat. Like I've never cooked with puff pastry or phyllo dough, so
right,
I'm gonna do it tomorrow. So we'll see.
Yeah,
see how it goes.
It beats it. It beats floating in the pool with a bourbon all day, right?
if the water temperature wasn't low 70s, it might be a different story. But
yeah. Right.
Roy said, "Are you catering your own wedding?"
No, I
thought he was. I thought you were going to have Grillers Anonymous come out and cook for everybody.
You talking my wedding?
Yeah.
Oh no, man, we're staying on Marathon Key in Florida. We're getting married on the beach, staying in some cottages, and we're eating off the seafood taco truck right down the street. Or actually, it's right next to the tiki bar that we will be drinking at afterwards.
You're gonna drink there?
No.
What's that?
You're gonna drink there?
Hey man, the my signature drink down there is a Basil Hayden Old Fashioned.
Well, I mean, I know at the last class we had at Wanamaker's, I got a little insight of the bachelor party and the drinking that ensued there. So, I'm glad I wasn't there, because I don't think I would have made it.
That was gold medal sport drinking.
Gold medal sport. It was a whole Olympic sport.
That was that was athletic level alcohol consumption. So it was good. Everybody made it home. Nobody caught a case. It was good.
Yeah,
that's a plus in the end there.
And thank you to both of you for running an excellent class. I heard everything.
It was probably one of the best classes we've ever had.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna speak for Ryan here, but I would say I think it went smoother than ever.
I thought it was great.
It was
management helping out there was great.
Yeah, it was good. Plenty of extra food, and we were done early.
Yeah, that's the first time we were done early.
It went. So it was great.
Well, thank
you. Yeah, that is next month.
Thanks to both of you for doing a great class. I heard it went really well, and I did talk to Joe, and Joe said he didn't do anything.
Joe, Joe kicked us off after I gave him a little nudge. He got us going. So
good.
Yeah, no, although the check-in process was rough. That was not as streamlined as normal. So the check-in process is usually super smooth And that was a little coming out of the blocks was a little rough on that one. People are like, "Whoa, what? Checking in? What are we doing?" Because that's Steve handles that like golden.
Well, it helps when you have the app.
Yes, he didn't have
It
the app.
does. Joe didn't have the app. Joe
the
had to. Yeah, Joe was in email writing down names.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Well, thank God there was only 15 and not 30, because that would have made it for a really good day. So, but yeah. So speaking of, do we want to get into classes? Because I know you still have a couple classes coming up at Tischler's. Wanamakers is done till January, but I know you got a bunch coming up at Tischler's. And just so I always like to say it, I'd love to point out, Sean does amazing classes. So if you have a chance to do either one of them at Tischler's or Downers Grove in Wanamakers, I highly recommend, not because I'm there, but they're great classes. I mean, I haven't heard, there's one person who didn't get enough food, but since 2018 that we've been doing these, that's probably the only person that I've heard that has said something negative. And Sean always asks for negative and positive, because that's the only way you learn.
I don't take negative feedback well from a vegetarian at a barbecue class, as I didn't get the food.
Yeah. So, and I know she said you don't get enough food, but that's a bunch of baloney, because I know the holiday meats class, by the time we get to the prime rib at the end, people are just trying to eat it because they've already ate so much that they can't finish. So
yeah, it's a gluttonous amount of food that we cook.
Yeah. So what do you got coming up? So you got 2 or 3 at Tischler's?
We have 3 left this year. So we have a week from Saturday. We have our tailgating class, which has the budget burn-ins. We have poppers, smoked cream cheese dip, brisket queso, and I'm also doing the pork belly sliders that we took to World Foods. That recipe that we took to World Foods. Those will be in there. Then we have our Texas style November 15th. There you go. No, put that up, please. Help her. Thank you. And then December 13th.
Help her.
No,
we didn't finish the first class that's coming up here on the 18th. We're doing brisket, cheesesteaks, and strawberry cheesecake rolled up French toast. Anyways, help her.
I'm pretty.
Is it? I'm sorry. My name's just PB, right?
Isn't this a family show? You probably shouldn't say that.
I said PB. I didn't say the whole thing.
What are you doing on the 15th, Ryan, for the Texas class?
I don't know what we're doing. That's the brisket.
Brisket elotes.
Brisket elotes and griddled Twinkie strawberry shortcake.
Those are so good. And then the holiday meats class, that's all the stuff. That's the prime rib and the fatties and the what the heck else do we have in there? Off the top of my head, it's like porchetta? 9 porchettas in there, holiday bombs,
the turkey,
Thanksgiving fatty. We're not doing turkey because you're doing the turkey.
I'm doing turkey.
You're doing the turkey.
Quesadillas.
You are a turkey. Turkey.
With a cranberry crema or something like that?
Yeah, turkey and cheese quesadillas with a cranberry crema.
Cremas are good. They taste better when you say it like that, actually.
Yes, it is. It's like, oh, the crema.
I do give Ryan a lot of crud here on the show, but I hate to tell you, but the stuff he does cook on the griddle when he's doing the classes, it is pretty stellar.
And since we're going back to Captain Ken and talking about that, he's actually doing the turkey sliders that we did last year when he was at the class in Wanamaker or at Tischler's.
Oh, when he's doing feeding his 60 people?
60 people. I was like, good luck to you, man, because that one wasn't really that easy.
Okay. He'll kill it. He'll be out there happy, smiling, cooking.
Yeah.
A little bit of a challenge. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
and then we do hit.
I don't even know how to describe our classes. People are like, oh, it's a class. It's really, it is a massive meal where you also learn something, is really kind of what they are.
But they're entertaining. It's not like Sean's very entertaining, but like I said, he answers every question. He takes every comment. You do eat a lot, and they're fun. What did you call them, Ryan? They weren't classes. They were class experiences.
Experience.
Yeah.
It
is. It's an
experience. You go to class, you're thinking, oh, I got to bring a stack of books, and I don't want to be at this class, and da 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 da.
Yeah.
No, it's an experience. Although you did miss out, we had, Sean's like, we got to get those wristbands back. We had 2 people that just came up out of the blue and were.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you. They're in the drawer.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring them out.
It was my dad and his wife.
Oh
no,
but yeah, no,
there was another gentleman.
There was one more that was standing there, but it was.
I spied him as soon as he came out of his car. He came out of his car and his head kind of tipped, and then he just beelined right for you. And I'm like, "Well, here we go."
Yeah. No,
that's all right.
Yeah, no,
that's
I think if one person.
That's the Wanamaker's one, but that's
the Wanamaker.
Same lineup.
Same
lineup. That one's done and over with. That was the one you guys did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this in the 18th, right? Yeah. Or 8 days away.
Mm-hmm.
Brisket cheesesteaks. I went and seen Rick, and he gave me a little shaved ribeye to do a little test cook here. So I got everything for that. So
nice.
It's always good. If you guys are doing any cook, don't just do the cook the first time when you're there. Do a couple test cooks on stuff and make sure it goes good. I mean, I've done. I think I'm going to do. He's going to give me a little bit of the shaved ribeye early next week, and I'm going to do a cook there at the class. But I think I'm going to have a bunch of egg rolls already rolled up, just because the egg roll rolling process is not quick.
Yeah, just get them rolled up and stash them in the cooler, have them ready to go.
Yeah. Big E, he was there. One of his first classes that he was at, so he's definitely going to try to come back again as well too. But
yeah, a lot of fun, man.
Definitely was a good time.
You got seats. Fun. You got seats still available there at Tischler's for those that are coming up.
We do.
Yeah, excellent. Yep. So if you're looking to go, that's the time to sign up. I can tell you the holiday meats class, and Tischler's is able to do it a little bit closer to where you're in holiday season. Unfortunately, at Wanamaker's, when we do it, just because of logistics, and we don't have space during holiday time. I wish I could get it closer to more of a Thanksgiving type of class, but that is one of my favorite classes. I do have to say, I mean, that is the food you get is just unbelievable.
We'll make sure you're on vacation next time we book the next holiday meats class.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we had to cancel the holiday meats class at Wanamaker's because we didn't get anybody, which is too bad. And I think I was preaching last week to Ryan. I try to at Wanamaker's. I try to bring quality educational entertainment classes, that kind of stuff to it. But as I said last week, it's not going to be free, folks. And meat is really expensive. Mr. Young right there, it actually takes his time to prep everything, buy everything, get everything. It's not like he shows up Saturday morning at Wanamaker's and it's like, oh, that's it. I'm just doing this. I mean, he's probably got 20 to 30 hours or more of prepping time before the class, let alone getting there. So if you're looking for a class that's, especially if I get people that come from if you're looking for a class that's going to be $25, it's not going to be, because there's just not nowadays. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it costs 25. I mean, brisket's almost like $25 a pound. I mean, so it's, you're not going to get it. So.
Yeah. I mean, we started these classes, they were $100 and that was in 2017, right? At $100, and we're up at between 125 and 150, depending on the classes. So when you look around at some of the other classes that happen, I think for between 125 and 150 bucks range for what you get, the volume of food,
wise,
it's plus the education. So
I mean, I can honestly say if I go to Station 1 or I go to Beach Avenue Barbecue or I go to Chicago Culinary Kitchen, and I'm just as Ryan can obviously be a witness to, and it's just me, I will spend $100 easy just on my food, and probably eat the good majority of it. So when you're looking at, with fees and everything, if you're somewhere around 150, and you're actually learning something that you can take home and cook and, feed yourself and learn how to cook good barbecue, then that cost is
the success
perfect.
Stories that I've heard. I mean, I have a lot of students that reach out afterwards and send me the pictures or tag us in the stuff from when they went home and like first time ever doing a brisket after taking the brisket class. And they absolutely crushed it and nailed it. And like, this is the best brisket I've ever turned out in my life. And I can't believe it was done in 6 hours. Like, you know, life-changing experiences with that stuff. And that's why I do them. You know, I love doing the classes because I was that guy ruining brisket for many a year, you know, before you could go Google it and, you know, on YouTube or go take a class, right? It wasn't out there in 2005 and 6 and 7. You had to go to a competition class, and those were $500, right? And I wasn't doing that. So for someone to say, just kill it's awesome.
And I was the guy in the class sitting there as well too, and now I'm teaching. Sparing.
And then if you're really lucky, you meet friends like Ryan over here that you then get stuck with. And
I know. And look now, Ryan has his own podcast, which is pretty amazing.
It's crazy. It's my own podcast. Yes. And no, it's, I mean, it's, you know, you're talking about meeting people and, you know, having lifelong friendships out of it. I mean, I've known Sean for a lot longer than the classes. And I don't think if it wasn't for the class, I wouldn't have this, right? I mean, I wouldn't be here. I for sure probably wouldn't have this, you know, to look back on. I mean, it's just the memories alone, and, you know, bumping back into Sean that one day and getting into barbecue and changed everything. But, you know, that's what it's for. Big E said, he goes, where'd it go? Why is it not? He said he had the meat sweats for sure.
I'm telling you, eat. I don't know how that person ever commented that they didn't get enough to eat.
And it's worth twice the cost of what you
eat.
Learn and eat. Yes, but
I agree. That's why we do them. So it's also early. I think you know, I mean, it's middle of October and it's 80 something degrees outside. So I've tried to do classes in the summer. We've tried them up here. They don't work. So it has to be a little cooler, you know, fall and winter weather. And we do notice that our turnouts are not as high when it's warmer out. Nobody wants to go sit indoors for 6-7 hours on a beautiful day when you know that there's only a handful of them left. Like, I get that. So once the weather turns, seats go up.
At Tischler's, I might have to turn around and face the other way so everybody can watch through the glass if they don't want to go stand outside again.
Jesus.
Yeah, button up. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
And if anybody wants, you can go to wannamakers.com. All the January, February, March classes are all up there ready to go. As we discovered last year, they make fantastic Christmas presents and gifts for those of you that have a barbecue person in your family that has everything and you don't know what to get them. Get them a barbecue class.
And you can come hang out with us. Yeah. So. Perfect time. Well, Sean, I did have this picture up here. You know, it's the, you know, for Mission 100 Hours is, you know, for everybody that has supported, you know, thank you for your support. We couldn't have done it without you. I mean, that's such a true statement that every charity and every organization definitely lives off of. So
takes, you know, no money, no mission. That's it. So takes dollars, and it takes volunteers, and it takes very dedicated volunteers, you know, like OBR, like for you, Steve, to go down for a week, take your vacation and go down and do that stuff, man. Tip of the cap.
This one was I didn't even have vacation. This one was truly out of pocket. So
yeah.
So
it's awesome. Without good, it's great to see volunteers stepping up, and we have amazing volunteers. OBR has amazing volunteers that go out and do the hard work, and, you know, separate themselves from their lives and their families and everything to go help those in need. And, you know, anytime you think this world kind of stinks, go do some research on some of those charities and hear some of those stories, and you'll realize that maybe things are still pretty all right, you know.
Yeah,
a little eye-opening.
Yeah.
So
all right, gentlemen.
All right, buddy, we ran over a little hour. Perfect. Good to have you on, Sean. Look forward to seeing how your world food adventure goes.
Well, I hope I win it all, but more importantly, I hope we deploy, you know, nearly 40 veterans down there and bring them home safe, and they all come back with some new perspective, experience, and a new community that they can lean on when they need a little help.
Exactly. So put that back, put his little thing back up there so we can do mzhh.org to get donations and all that other good stuff.
No, I got it here.
The other one.
Yeah. Or the food sport, that either one. There it is.
Foodsport.com.
MilitaryFoodsport.com.
All right, John.
All right.
Thanks again.
Yep.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you, brother.
guys. Appreciate
See you,
it.
Sean.
Thank you.
All right.
Good show. Sean Young's
Another
always
great
fun
show.
to talk to. He's always fun to talk. He's done a lot of great things. I remember when he started the charity, and I thought it was a great idea. I forgot to ask him, but I believe that he did do. He did 1 or 2 barbecue classes for the veterans. I think I want to say that you might know more, Ryan, but I think the barbecue bus did a class for veterans. I think that they could sign up for. I thought there was something.
I think they did it at their warehouse.
At the warehouse, yeah.
Warehouse.
So,
yeah.
so things are. It's a small. It's still in the beginning. It's going. You get things like Battle of the Branches. You get these classes, which I think is what he wants to.
You guys go volunteer. I mean, you get these. Look at this.
Yeah, it's a nice
hard.
shirt. It's not as good as my red OBR t-shirt, but
all right, well,
all full of pig grease. But anything. But so anyway, so a good show. I guess you could say Caring Thursday. If you want, if you're for veterans, go to Mission militaryfoodsport.com. If you want to do the Battle of the Branches, mzhh.org. If you want to,
if the site's back up.
If the site's back up,
we're
so
rebuilding
go to the military food sport one, I guess, and donate to there. But then I did want to bring up again, Operation Barbecue Relief. We are on our way to the Tampa area, and we are in North Carolina. We are in Eastern Tennessee. So please, if you can, obr.org, do donations if you can. But almost more importantly, if you can find the time and get out there and volunteer, there's people that have been volunteering already. I know I went last week, and I know there were people there before I got there. As we get into October and we get into some of these storms, especially if there's another one coming down the pipe, the volunteers that are there are either going to get tired, or they're going to, like myself, you have to come back and you have to go to work. So there has to be a rotation in and out. So if you're in the Tampa area, the North Carolina area, the Eastern Tennessee area, you're looking to do something and you're looking to do something good. If you're into barbecue, or even if you're not you don't have to be a cook to do it. I'm not a barbecue cook. I sell products at a store. But we can teach you how to load a smoker. And that's part of the fun of it. We did a thing, Ryan. It was called beef clod. Have you ever heard of beef clod?
I have. I haven't had it.
It was they were big and heavy. I didn't get any videos. I tried to get people to take videos of me loading the smokers so you could actually see that I was actually doing something. And actually, I was the protein lead there. Believe it or not. Yes. Yeah. So I was in charge of the smokers. I actually had to. Well, Chris Wilson was helping me because I had never been protein lead before, so he was kind of instructing me. But just turning on the smokers at a certain time, we had to check them at 11 o'clock. We had to check temperatures, adjust the smokers, and all that other good stuff, and then get up like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and temp the meat to make sure that it was ready to go for processing at 5:30. We had breakfast at 5:30. We started processing at 6 o'clock. Depending on what had to get done and what had to get loaded, or if you had chicken thighs that just didn't want to cook, and you end up staying there sometimes till 5. So you had some good 12-hour days in there.
Yeah, I was going to share this out too. I know Cecilia.
Oh, Don Edwards, yeah,
big country's wife, Cecilia, or Mama Country. She's doing for her birthday. So Facebook, if you have your birthday coming up or anything like that, even if you can't help, you can put a foundation or a charity out there that you want to donate to, and she's actually donating to OBR for her birthday.
Oh, God bless you.
So
yeah, God bless you.
A great thing there.
But if you're worried about it, Operation Barbecue Release, they have bunkhouses. Just make sure you contact ahead of time. Say you need a place to stay. They have bunkhouses for you to stay in. There's a camp chef for you they do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The camaraderie of sitting around just talking of everybody. That's part of the probably one of the funnest parts of the experience is meeting everybody from across the country, like Carmen, my friend Don, and Chris Wilson. I've known since 2018, since I was in Panama City, and we were, I don't want to say best friends because I don't know if I really have a best friend, but maybe Ryan's my best friend, but I know. But anyway, that's just silly.
When you said you made friends with Carmen, she put this in the chat.
Yeah.
I think it's more about the beef clod, but it might be all right.
No, well, she had to work. Carmen had to work the chopper during the beef clod, and beef is a little bit thicker than pork. So she was using what we call the vertical chopper, which is, I call it the meat juicer, because it does look like a big juicer. You put the meat in and you pull this handle down and it shreds it up. Because the beef was, it kept tripping the thing. So they constantly had to try and keep starting it. It would clog up a little bit. Yeah. So she had a lot to do. Oh yes. And then, yeah. Okay, Carmen. Thanks.
Fell in the pits.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to talk about that pit, because that was the pit I loaded, and somehow it shifted and they all fell off the carousel.
Speaking of beef clod and all this amazing food, my wife is yelling at me because the food's here for dinner.
Oh, well, then we can go. But anyway, get to Operation Barbecue Relief, obr.org, to do a donation. If you can volunteer. It will be life-changing. It is probably, if you're looking for someone to kind of just give you a little nudge into doing it because you've never done it, but you've always wanted to do it, I am telling you to do it. You will not be disappointed. I'm not saying that it's not a lot of work. I'm not saying that it's not going to be physical. And especially in Florida, you never know what you're going to get. It's either going to be hot or it can be chilly. So, but I do recommend one of the 3 locations, either Tennessee, North Carolina, or the new Tampa site. Oh, Sean Young's calling me. He doesn't realize the show's still going on because we're just chatting. So anyway, put that thing up one more time for Mikey K so we can do that really quick. I just want to make sure everybody sees that. If you go to Fire and Smoke Barbecue, I don't know if he's got it, fireandsmokebarbecue.com. If you buy any other products on the website for the month of October, 20% off. Oh, 20%, not 20% of online sales will be donated to Operation Barbecue Relief. Thank you, Mikey from Fire and Smoke Barbecue. So get over there and do that. It's neat. Yeah.
All right, guys. Next week we have.
Dun, dun, dun. Next week, I believe, I have to check. I forgot to message him today, but it should be, I believe, Jerry Belcastro from the Pizza Cook-Off Association. So we'll go from barbecue to pizza cook-off, because actually October is National Pizza Month. So this year we just have Jerry Belcastro on. Last year we had a bunch of people on for Pizza Month. I actually made pizza. And then, so he'll be on. Always interested. I want to see how well his organization has done and grown over the last year since we talked to him. I think it's a neat organization that a lot of people don't know about. Still small. Again, it's a small organization that's growing, so I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yes.
And that's it for next week. And as always, everybody, please be kind and courteous to everybody. We're all different. Let's just be a little bit more appreciative of how different we are, because after all, it's our differences that make us great. Because after all, who would always want to be the same as the person next to you? Especially, who'd want to be like Ryan? I wouldn't. I'd rather be like Steve. But with that,
if I could be like Steve.
I could be like Steve. Shop local, shop small. If you can, support your local stores. We appreciate it 100 million times more than Amazon.
And thanks for hanging out till the end of the show. We appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging out to the end of the show. We got a lot of great people on here, a lot of great feedback. Again, to all the volunteers who are out there now working the line, getting some rest for tomorrow, God bless you. I wish I could be there with you. I can't even tell you how much it's bothering me that I cannot go back down to be with you guys to fight the good fight. But I will be there in spirit. So with that, Ryan, I think we're done.
We are done. But don't forget, whatever channel you guys are watching on, if you're watching on It's All About the Barbecue or Barbecue Black Soda Beer, make sure you guys go follow both.
Go follow both on all of them. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Follow them all.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with us. Take care.
See everybody. Bye.